What's up, guys? Pharaoh once again here at Mayhem Fest in Atlanta, Georgia. We're joined this time by Miss Jill Janus, the front lady of the band Huntress. Jill, thank you for taking so much time out of
Thank
your
you.
schedule.
Well, thanks for having me.
Now, unlike a lot of the lead singers in metal bands, you are actually classically trained in opera, correct?
That is correct. I've been singing opera and performing in musicals since I was about 10 years old. And I believe that training that I've had is actually the foundation for my screams, and it is the ability to maintain my voice night after night.
That way you can scream your head off every night and not have to worry about damaging your voice or your throat because you know how to scream properly from within.
That is correct, yeah. And a lot of it is just a complete lifestyle overhaul. I'm very, very particular about the way I warm up, my vocal rest, and it really does come from the breathing. Everything's from the breath. So, with the way that I've been trained, for me, it's just second nature now. But anyone that's trying to attempt, a strong metal voice or where you're using multiple voices or screaming, I'd recommend my voice teacher. Her name is Melissa Cross, and she has a great DVD called The Zen of Screaming. And it's probably the gateway into it, I think.
I actually was thinking about trying to learn how to do that, so that's good information.
Yeah.
Right there.
Now, y'all just released a brand new album, Spellbound Beast. How have things been with the new album and everybody adjusting to the new music?
Starbound Beast, yeah, it just came out during Mayhem Fest on July 2nd. As you know, we released our debut album just last year in 2012. So for us, it's really been this neck-breaking pace. But fortunately, there's a band that is on this journey with me who share the same vision. And when you are that inspired, it's not difficult to be better musicians. Instead of going out and raging, we're a bunch of nerds on the back of the bus just dissecting our performances, and we record every performance just to make sure that we can get better and better. So a lot of it's just spent rehearsing and locking in and getting that unity on stage. And that's been becoming easier for us since we've been on tour so much,
That's very important. A lot of bands don't do that, so they kind of stay stagnant, and you can keep growing from that experience. That's really awesome.
Thanks. Yeah, it's all about longevity, and the hard work never ends. And fortunately, our work ethic is pretty monstrous.
That's good, though.
Now, Jill, you're originally from New York. Mm-hmm. Carl and Ian are both from California. Blake and Ian are both from California.
Pasadena.
Carl is actually from Lancaster, PA.
And so is Ant, our new guitarist. They're both, it's wild. I have two members on each side that grew up together in Lancaster, PA, and then two that grew up in Pasadena, California. So they have this real childhood unity together, and it's almost like instinctive. There's a lot of like telepathic stuff going on between them, which makes my job easier.
I was going to say, that makes everything so much easier for you guys all the way around.
Yeah, everyone just knows each other very, very well. I mean, I'm the new kid on the block here. I brought these demos to Professor, in 2009 that I had recorded that they called Diet Maiden. But they wanted to give me a shot, so we rehearsed together and joined forces. So it's a kind of a merge of Professor and also Dark Black. We had a lineup change early on as well, just to, again, we all need to share the same vision. So now I have those two bands, and you can hear elements from both of those bands, those underground metal bands, within Huntress.
Now, as a band, you guys are super, super tight-knit, and you are very, very outspoken in your religion and your beliefs and everything. If you would, share that with our listeners, because for those of our listeners that have heard Huntress's music but may not know that much about Jill Janus.
Sure. Well, I was raised in a very eccentric family in the Catskill region of New York. I've always been told to follow your premonitions and your psychic abilities, and I'm not the only one in my family who has had this really strong ties to paganism. I've been this way my entire life. So for me, witchcraft has guided all aspects of my life. It's also very important that I never lift the veil entirely. I will never lose my mystery completely, but it is such a strong aspect of my life and the lyrical content for all Huntress songs that it's just undeniable. I'm very, very proud to be pagan.
And now, there are a lot folks that mistake paganism and Satanism and meld them into one. But there is a definitive difference between the two.
Of course. Well, Satanism is based on Christianity. Paganism is based on the nature of things and earth. So, simply put, it's all right. It's all right. It's mayhem. It's mayhem around here.
You can edit that out.
It's actually crazy.
That's a big misconception with being a witch, is that you're evil, and that's so far from the truth. You are in heavy metal, and it's just assumed that you're satanic, and a lot of the imagery is. But for me, I'm just one of those witches that wants to smoke weed and eat shrooms and party with fairies in the woods.
Yes.
That's the kind of witch I am.
Are you sure you're not Wiccan?
I love her.
I mean, you just described Joanna to
Yeah.
a T.
Pretty much. So I have a question for you.
Sure.
You're touring with Danzig after
Yes,
this, right?
yes.
How excited are you for that?
Girl, I gotta tell you, when we found out we were going on tour at Danzig, all of us were like, we must take a time machine back to when we were 13 so we can high-five each other and be like, holy crap, we're going on tour at
You
Danzig.
can do that now.
Yeah. Well, we did. For me, Danzig and the Misfits were huge inspirations growing up. Not only myself, but I can speak on behalf of all my bandmates in saying we still listen to Danzig constantly on the road. There's always something Danzig we're playing. I was blessed enough to meet him recently, and we just really had this instant connection, and I'm really looking forward to spending time with him on the road. And
He's still my beating heart.
oh, girl, I mean, really, it's just, for me, it's an absolute dream come true.
I'm very happy. I will try my best to come out and see this any way I can because I'm a huge Danzig fan, and from what I know of you, you are fantastic. So what's it like being a female vocalist in a male-dominated genre?
I have to say, I'm very content being a woman in a male-dominated world. I'm so supported by the men around me, all the male colleagues, especially on Mayhem Festival. I feel protected and safe. Hanging out with a bunch of bearded, burly metalheads, you can't beat it.
That's how I spend my days, always.
Oh, yeah. It's, once you're really in the professional touring circuit, those stigmas disappear. It doesn't matter, It's almost like I've become sexless in a way. And that's my approach to my vocals as well, is really trying to strip away that female-fronted label. It's not my mission. I'm not here to change the world. I'm not here to teach anyone anything. I'm only here to live for my purpose.
No better words have ever been spoken on WLJS.
Now, you have one of the most beautiful voices that I have heard in metal.
Thank you.
I will tell you that.
Thank you.
But you also have one of the fiercest screams that I have ever heard. And I was just like, I was a little taken aback because there's so many that will do one or the other. And it's a rarity that you can do both. Do you pull back to your vocal training with your opera and everything to control that to where you can live go back and forth?
It would not be possible if I wasn't classically trained. Because of that training, because I was born with the range that I have, that is
Phenomenal at that.
Thank you. I am so humbled, first of all, by the response by everyone that gets it. I really wanted to form Huntress many years ago, but I would not bend. I wouldn't compromise my vision, and it was 10 years I've been searching for musicians. I wouldn't compromise on the way I wanted to sing, the capability that I had within me to jump ranges, to use multiple voices. Huge inspiration for me is King Diamond and Merciful Fate. So with that said, I'm so grateful that fans and music lovers like yourself are understanding what I'm attempting here, and that it's no joke what I go through to pull this off. It's very natural for me, and it's because I have that classical training that I have that ability, but it also means absolutely surrendering to the voice. The voice rules me, all aspects of my life. Vocal rest, taking care of myself, remaining healthy. I don't drink booze anymore, and I love drinking booze. I love it. I miss it so much, but I can't do it. So these are the sacrifices you make.
No alcohol at all?
No, not one drop. Not one drop. No, because it breaks down your immune system, and I can't risk it.
That is true. I got sick a lot when I was drinking a lot. So
Yeah, I'm really into homeopathic remedies and B12 injections and all this crazy naturopathic, stuff that I do to maintain my health and stay sane. And a lot of it is just remaining non-crazy on the road.
that takes a toll. Just trying to keep yourself when you're so intelligent and insightful, and you try to keep your brain in one place. That is hard. Trying to stay sane is hard.
It's a challenge being being a woman and being around men in the van. There's 4 dudes that are just with me all the time, and fortunately they're not too smelly. I've smelled worse, but I learned to pee in jars, and I do it real well now.
Well, see, one of the bands on tour with you here on Mayhem Fest, Butcher Babies. Heidi and Carla actually claim that they're the smelliest ones in the band. So
They are so adorable. I love them, and I gotta say, they are so hardworking, and it's been really cool watching them draw the crowd in. And I know them from Los Angeles because we were both, I say all 3 of us, were very much immersed in the nightlife scene in LA, the Hollywood scene. I was DJing and I was promoting nightlife, and we were there right along with each other, and it's just so cool to see 2 female fronted bands gaining such success so rapidly in the metal world. They're awesome. I really love what they do.
the women are taking over.
As
I
it
told you it was
as
happening.
it should be.
Yes.
You knew it was going to happen in metal. That y'all already rule everything else. Why not?
Power.
Oh yeah, the vagina, the vagine, the vagine. I can say that, right?
Yep.
All right.
You can say
You can
whatever
say
you want.
vagina.
I can say vagina.
Yes.
Well,
It's a
yeah.
medical term, so you...
There you go. There you go.
Miss Jill Janus of Huntress, you guys, stick around, stay tuned. We'll have more interviews. Don't forget, Huntress, after Mayhem Fest, we'll be touring with LOG, Kill Switch Engage, and the infamous Danzig.
I'm
Stay
so
tuned,
jealous
folks.
of you.
I'll be back in with you.